He's having a stroke.
Neptune, butterscotch.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of We Talking About. Today we're going to be talking about The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead.
What is episode 14?
The most popular show on television, season 7, episode 14.
Episode 14. We got 2 episodes after this, and we're setting stuff up. But
are you going to ask me what my favorite part of the episode was?
You probably have one picked this time, so I'm not going to ask.
I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
Either. I like that Eugene still has the Gremulok in his pocket.
I liked Eugene. So Eugene is seeing bossing people around because that's his position. But they turn on the mic very briefly to hear him say like, "This is Dr. Eugene, whatever this."
He calls himself
AKA
Doctor
Negan.
like 3 times.
But like
AKA
in each
Negan.
one, he says
AKA
Negan, for
whatever.
which I am also. And like he runs through it so many times that I'm like, okay, Eugene is like the saving grace of like a lot of things. Because this episode to me was not very interesting.
No,
Not a
this
lot
was bad.
happened. It was the same deal where it's like, okay, it got us to nothing. We were almost exactly in the same place as when we started to where we ended. And that to me doesn't really jive,
no.
especially on episode 14 of a 16-episode season. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how did we progress in this episode? Aside from Sasha is like in the base,
I mean,
but she didn't do anything, so she might as well be outside the base. She just got there and it ended.
Right.
We really didn't
So,
get
like,
anywhere.
so some shit happened, right? They went. So like, okay, they kind of, what did I call it?
Filler, yeah.
No, well, okay.
It was 7 minutes of them getting there.
One might call it filler, but another one might call it like character development and like backstorying or whatever.
No, but
the
the
fuck.
problem is you can develop characters and backstories while progressing the plot and making for an entertaining episode.
But then you get to the end of the show too quickly, and we have to think up new things to happen.
No, all you have to do is say like in this episode.
I'm being sarcastic. Yes,
per se.
That is sarcastic.
Like, it could have been like, all right, so I took a couple of bullets from Jesus. I have, like, a bullet. We need more bullets. All right, we got to go on a mission to get bullets. And then at least it would be a mission to get bullets. And then at the end, they'd be like, okay, we have bullets. But in this, it was like, okay, let's stake out up here. Okay, we're waiting for Negan to walk into sight. But they're not staring out the window the whole time, so when he finally comes into sight, they're not ready for it. They can't get the shot. So I'm like, all right, that wasted my first bit of this episode. All right, second bit. All right, we're going to get in there. Okay, we're in there. Eugene, come with us. I'm not coming with you. Fuck you. All right. Yeah.
Runs away.
Yeah. It just felt like a lot of fluff and no nothing. Then like the other half of the characters, it's like, okay, so they're still in the hilltop. The hilltop is
This was
is
a hilltop
sieged.
episode, by the way. Like, whatever.
Yeah, the only thing that was like remotely, I was like, oh, that's something. You found out that the doctor that Negan had that he killed during the fire was the doctor in Hilltop's brother, and I'm like, oh,
weird, right?
not so weird because a lot of
Doctoring.
families have the same trades.
I
and
almost
stuff.
just said doctoring doesn't like run in the family, like being tall, and then it's like, well, I guess you could just be like, yeah, I guess we were all doctors and we're all lawyers, like that's how it works sometimes. Whatevs. And I forget if they looked anything alike, but
They look nothing alike.
Right? It was weird. That was my brother. I guess my brother finally bit off more than he could chew or something. No, like this was fine to me because like they said like we have another doctor, we have a backup or something like that.
Yeah,
and it was
no,
apparently
that's what I'm saying. That
it was
the
apparently
only, like,
the only
oh.
ever doctor, the only other doctor that they ever fucking showed on the show.
Exactly.
Which sucks because they say it outright. He is Maggie's doctor, and she had some complications earlier in her pregnancy, and this is like, oh, and all that
No,
stuff.
so that'll be interesting. So like, you have to have a resolution, and odds are in 2 episodes. I forget if this timeline even makes sense, but for movie magic, Maggie would go into labor on episode 16.
Did she look pregnant at all?
No, but that's what magic is. She really doesn't, so that would be actually impossible. I take back that
I
prediction.
hope she. Well,
But if that happens, holy shit.
just start squirting.
Some
them out.
people don't get that pregnant, and some people get super pregnant. Like, just thinking of people I've encountered with in life. Some of them, it's like, oh, you just looked a little thick. You're 9 months pregnant. Other people, it's like, you look like you have 7 babies just like in you. You're like a toothpick with a fucking grape stuck in the middle. Like, what the fuck? Like some people
That's
don't.
quite an image.
Some people don't make sense. Like there's like like a perfect
I've seen
baby
'em.
sphere on their stomach, and other people it's like, you're pregnant? Oh, really? I just thought you had a heavy lunch.
I just thought she was a little bloated.
Yeah.
Wearing a thick coat.
So I don't even know, and now that I'm trying to think back on Maggie, I have no idea. My only thought on Maggie this whole episode was when what's the young girl's name who like hangs out with Maggie and they're best friends somehow? Yeah, Enid. Whose character doesn't make sense to me at all. So Enid
the future,
brings her
Enid.
lunch, and it's like, I don't know what it was, like chips and dip or naan and dip or anything. But my only thought was like, you don't eat dip in the apocalypse. Like,
They don't have a dip.
and it's not even because it's an impractical food.
That's
That
funny.
like where you could drop some of the precious morsels on the ground. But it's something where it's like, all right, you have a bowl. Every time you have to transfer food from one thing to another thing to another thing, you're losing a slight amount. And that's just a waste of things. You should have made a sandwich, bitch.
Should have made a wrap, perhaps.
Yeah,
Mm,
just something.
I'm starving.
Yeah, I could kill and eat right now.
That's funny. I didn't like think it through, but I remember thinking that was kind of weird that she was. Oh, we have hummus and like whatever the fuck. I'm
Lots
like,
of
really?
things just drive me nuts.
Little
Like,
things.
because it's the little
Horrible
things
things.
that I feel like would affect you the most. And going into 7 years of an apocalypse, you'd be like, no. After day one, we realize you eat directly from the can because you put it into a bowl. A, you have dirty things and it's hard to clean things here. And B,
Water.
we lose a slight amount of the food. Can't have that because we fucking have no food.
That's my philosophy too. I actually hate, baking or doing anything like that. Not that I do that anyway, much. But like whenever you see it, or like, oh no, this is just normal. Then you mix it in here, and then you pour it into there, and then you mix it, and then you
God.
pour a little into each of these, and like the spoon and the thing and the things.
Yeah, along the way, you're losing so
everything.
much.
You're losing all this money. I'm like, there must be somebody that would reclaim that.
Yeah, it's called mix your shit into the bowl you're going to cook it in. And then you're done.
Everything I cook is just like one pot casseroles or like pastas or something.
Even
like
easier
that.
then.
Exactly, because you're just adding.
Mm.
Just adding to the same thing, and then cooking forever, and then I'm starving.
Yeah.
All right.
So, like, was anything of note in this episode that you can recall? Like,
Didn't Jesus say he was gay?
did he? Did I miss
Did
that
I?
part entirely?
Because it's like super early. He's talking to Maggie, and he says something like, "I haven't felt like I belonged anywhere. Like I was like, it's not, and now it feels like a family. I couldn't open up to anyone like this or friends, whatever, boyfriends." I thought he said. Am I crazy?
I may have just like totally missed that
'Cause
little line.
he made
But as
some-
I took that whole speech was that
Yeah.
like, people keep dying around me. I don't see a point in like learning to like anybody and meeting anybody.
Yeah.
I go out, blah blah blah. And even the guy mentioned the mayor or whatever his name is. He's like, Jesus, you haven't gone out on any scavenging hunts in a while. And I was like, oh yeah, he hasn't gone out because he's been fucking like, he's like, there's actually
He's
people I care about,
clinically
people that will
depressed.
probably survive here.
Yeah.
Because if you're around idiots, and if you think about it, through 7 years of the apocalypse, your whole group probably has like more turnover than like a shitty internet TV show. Like,
No, and you become super lone wolfy, and I'm just gonna get my shit done. Daryl did it. People do it at different times, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And
So he was
especially
that
like
guy.
if the reason people are dying is because they're being clumsy or ridiculous, those are the same reasons that could get you killed. So it makes more sense to be on your own. Either surround yourself in numbers of people that are capable, or get the fuck away from idiots, because that's
Yeah.
how you die.
So he basically threw himself into his work because he couldn't
Yeah.
feel whatever. And now with this group, as Rick's group in all of its forms tends to do, has shown him a home. But I'm pretty sure he said boyfriends and then made like a sheepish look and all that stuff where I was like, oh, he's like coming out or something like that.
Maybe we'll never rewind. So
If that's wrong, I'll feel really dumb. But either way, I wrote down Jesus is gay, lol, because that's a funny thing.
well,
to say.
I read a little while back that they wanted to make
Someone
Daryl's
said-
character gay. This could be a relationship.
Oh no, I read a thing, or like I remember a rumor about there being like a gay character, and then someone speculating that it was Daryl, and I think that they denied it, or something
Of
like
course,
that.
because they wanted to hide the twist.
Well, I guess Aiden, what is his name? That gay guy is probably the gay character they were talking about at that point. I have no fucking idea. I don't care who's gay. I just thought it was a weird thing to say. If that's what he said, I hope that's what he said. Holy shit.
Did not hear it at all, but I've
Yeah.
missed things before because I'm only human.
Nothing really came of it. There's really there would have been no reason to catch it if you were like blinking or sneezing when he said it or something like that. So whatevs. We kind of covered a lot of the stuff. The other major thing we hinted at is, they come and get that doctor and take him away. So there's another savior interaction.
Sure.
You got Simon. Dude shows up,
Yeah.
squares off with Gregory, and they
Has
do their
Simon
whole
never
thing.
seen Enid?
I have no idea why.
Well, because she showed herself in 2 camps now. I feel like that could have been a thing. Do they even know that the camps know about each other?
Oh, maybe, I guess, right? Because that's the fucking... Oh, no, do they disavow? Because, like, the Hilltop sort of hires Rick's guys to kill the people
but they
at
don't
the cell,
say that.
And it's like intentionally not said so that they're not associated with them.
Exactly. So I feel like Enid took a big risk just stepping out in the public, because like, and she made a thing saying like, oh, those are different people that come to our place, like not the same. But like that might just mean like the boss. But I'm pretty sure that the boss Simon has been to their camp. Like 99% positive he was like driving a truck at one point.
Yeah, he does the same stupid tap on the side.
Yeah, I thought.
Huh.
So that could be a big issue, you know, because she could have just been
hole.
seen.
Yeah. Well, so Enid does.
She lost her badass knife. That was
running.
also a ridiculous thing.
How'd you feel about all that? She goes and tries to keep him away from the cellar, and then he takes her knife, and then.
I was honestly just glad for her that all he wanted was her knife. Because I got a rapey vibe from that guy.
He's
and I was like, oh, God, she's young. Leave her alone.
Well, she's too young. She's
young. She's got 2 cantaloupes and 3 cucumbers in that thing. Leave her alone.
Is that fruit, or are you just happy to see me? Give me your fruit.
I just thought it was a really weird combination of things to be in that basket. And I guess I'm like, oh, I guess everyone grows melons now.
Melons are the shit.
I like them, but it's weird.
So, well, they just have the melons on set, and they're like, put something in the basket.
Yeah.
It's just It's just zucchini and cantaloupe.
These cucumbers are wrapped in plastic. That's fine. Just fucking put it there. I'm sure they have a Euro zipper.
They have price tags on it. Just fucking do it. We have to film the scene. No, like, but then, like, he has her knives when he goes into the cellar, and they're hiding in there. It's Maggie and Daryl. They see the knife. They go, oh, fuck, that was Enid's knife. What the fuck? We should go kill that guy. And it's a little opportunity for interaction. It's kind of cool, though. I was, like, rolling my eyes, but luckily I stopped in time to see Daryl and, like, her have that cool interaction at the end where she's like, what the hell, yo? You're doing stuff. You're not even, looking at me. Look at me. And he's like, I'm sorry, and does the whole thing.
And I could totally understand that whole position, like not wanting to look her in the eye, not wanting to associate with her at all. Because even just talking to somebody who you feel that guilty about, like, you don't want to make any words, because then I could tell, and he did. Then just you lose it, like your composure is being held very very thinly, and then bam, gone.
No, totally, because he's an honorable guy, and rationally maybe he knows that it's not his fault, but he did have an outburst, and then Negan did kill Glenn.
Yeah,
and like
it is indirectly 100% his fault, though. Like,
I mean,
you can't argue that.
It's Negan's
he said nobody
fault,
moved.
Yes,
you moved. Someone died. Your fault.
Yes. But,
you pay.
But it's Negan's fault, right?
Well, Negan pulled the trigger.
Thing,
but like, if I tell you like you'll be expelled from school if you cheat, and then like
I understand what you're saying. Yes. And she said like it's no one's fault to try to make him feel better and all that stuff. I don't think he didn't know what exactly would happen or who would get it or something.
No, of
like
course
that.
not. And you always hope that you're the one that will pay the bill.
But no, that was really cool because he's an honorable guy, like I just said. And like for me, even if we have like a negative interaction, some sort of disagreement or whatever, I have a little like, are we cool after the you go back to the person and you go, yes, might snow later, and they're like, yep, and you're like, okay, good. And this is like a fucking 1,000,000% more.
Exactly.
So
I widowed you. I'm sorry.
So I can see where he's like, I'll just avoid it. I'll go over here and get I'll just eat a melon and walk past her and kind of nod or whatever the fuck. And she's like, what the hell, dude? And he's like, and it's awesome. That was awesome.
No, yeah.
I like that a lot.
I liked that he later then goes like, where are Sasha and Rosita?
Yeah.
And then like gets them like the instant they got there. I would love, and this is one of the things that I think would be great for a TV show, especially a TV show that has lots of characters and things happening at the same time, is if in the bottom it was time stamped. But like dead serious. So like you knew like, okay, 7:03, Rosita and Sasha leave, and then like their shit happens, blah blah. And then it cuts back to like 7:10, and Daryl's like, where are they? So you know like, oh, it's 7 minutes have passed.
Right.
So like, it makes actual sense? Because if you took place how that played out the thing, it's like, all right, he would have had like half hour behind them,
right? And
then to like figure out where they were and to find out they're on that side of the building, like. It was dark. I'm sure that they're not leaving great tracks, considering they stole a car. Did Daryl steal a car? How the fuck did he get there?
He went to all the cars that she tried to start, and then eventually ended up and was like, "There's fresh tire marks here," and went all the way.
That didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, what?
No, it totally didn't. And honestly, like the only thing that like mentally prepared me for it is they played fast and loose with time in the beginning, right? because like they show you a bunch of shit, and it kind of leads up again to Rosita showing up and saying, "I need your help" or whatever.
Yes,
And
yes.
they kind of like replay the scene from like a different angle. But without that sort of thing to anchor it, it was totally not clear if this was happening now. Like, was this Sasha like the day after as they're preparing to go? I didn't know until they
No.
she shows up again or whatever.
And then
So,
when Sasha locks her outside of
dangerous.
that fence, and she's
Yeah.
like, "No!" and shaking the fence, I'm like, "Bitch, what are you retarded? Like, why? Why would you shake the fence? You're on a
Emotions.
fucking stealth mission."
Emotions. It's all about emotions, Stefan. People
But, like,
do dumb things when the writers we
How
want
it
them to have
gets cut
emotions.
is like she's like, "No!" And then it cuts to Sasha like just about to enter the door, and the door opens, and I'm like, "Oh God, is she gonna die right here?"
That would have been cool.
And then she didn't die right there.
Now she pops the dude and runs in,
Yeah.
all like tick, 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 running over. Yeah, I mean that's where we're left off. Rosita's pieced out, Daryl's there. So obviously now Daryl and Rosita are gonna go in there right after Sasha. That has to be what happens. Or what do you think Daryl says?
Or Daryl
We're
grabs her by the hair and says,
going-
"We have to go."
We're going
Because
home.
you have to
Yeah.
think about this, and they're clearly not in their right minds. But especially if Daryl and Rosita go in there, right? So now you'd have
Yeah.
Daryl, Rosita, and Sasha potentially just dead, like just from the outside objective person
Likely
thinking,
dead.
just like, okay, just dead. So you lost 3 of their best fighters for a coming war that's happening in like a week. Why couldn't you wait a week? What do you think is going to happen?
I
The
know.
only outcome you can expect from this, if you succeed, is all right. We killed Negan. They come and kill everybody. And you're like, all right, so before we were ready, before we had our army ready, before we had all our guns ready, we get attacked? Why would you jeopardize this? Like,
I know.
so stupid.
No, and that's why the sniping seemed like
Sniping was
Like,
fine because it was like, okay, you won't necessarily know who did it. They can accuse
Right.
someone. They'll probably kill 3 people from every camp just as a warning. But
or like, hey, well, still though, you'd want to wait to be ready so that the disarray of killing the king could be you
Yeah.
want to be primed and ready. Like people are still looking for more guns back at the thing, right?
Sure.
This is not a good time to do
you don't
this.
have that whole army
Yeah.
of like, the street rats or whatever they're called.
The junkyard
Junkyard dogs.
the junkyard cave people. No, it's I was not super emotionally invested in like the whole like journey or whatever because I know they're not gonna snipe Negan, so I was like,
No.
okay. And like they're showing how like I don't have a clear shot. I'm like, you had several clear shots. You're not in like a book depository. It's not in a moving car. You could have
Yeah.
shot. Like I would have
And
taken 2 shots.
I'm not an
at that.
expert though.
Not even a good shot. I
But
would have taken 2
but
shots.
they have that big ass bullet. I
Yep.
feel like that would go through more than one body.
Yeah.
And like in the beginning, he was only screened by people you don't care about.
Right, so like once he's like necking with Eugene, I was like, okay, fine. But like before that, yeah, he's moving, he's slowly walking. You're like a sniper. Take
Yeah.
care of business.
And honestly, if you were to shoot through the doctor to kill Negan, that's kind of fine because
Completely
that
worth
doctor is now on their side.
Yes.
Whether he wants to or not, he will be patching up your enemies.
Yes.
So I think that's
So
proper collateral
strategically,
damage.
feel free to do it.
Granted,
Plus-
you want a doctor back, but there's no guarantee you're going to ever get him back.
Yeah. Plus, like he has to walk and then leave, right? So like even if moving's a problem, eventually he's going to be facing away from you going into that doorway,
Mhm.
and you're going to have like 2 seconds where the linear, like
Sure.
he's moving on like a plane that you don't have to worry about aiming to lead
Yeah.
him and all that stuff. I don't know. I'm not a sniper, but I would have totally taken that shot and been like,
Yeah.
well, this gun's like, because what you have like 2 bullets, right?
Yeah, presumably.
Now's the time to use those 2 bullets. The gun is huge and heavy, and like you don't want to break it because later you might get bullets. But you don't have bullets now, so you don't want to. I don't know.
No, you could have taken a shot, thrown the gun on the roof or something,
Yeah.
and then like ran away.
Totes.
But what are you gonna do? What else? Anything else of note happened in this episode? Because
I do want
I'm
to touch
drawing a
on
blank.
that journey, Sasha and Rosita. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll say the wrong name for an entire episode, and then I'll kill myself.
Sure.
I did kind of like when she's talking about her like history and all that stuff, because
Okay.
I like
What she took from different boyfriends.
Yeah, because, like, in a way, it's like, you're sleeping yourself to the top of being a badass. That's crazy. And then as it clicked in my head of, like, wait, so was she just with Abraham and that was, like, the same thing?
And then she asked.
And then Sasha's like, so was it like that with him? And she's like, no, it was different. I go, oh, fuck. And this whole thing, like, I kind of liked that whole
Yeah.
filling in details and all that stuff. Because we were saying, like, wait, was she in the military? Wait, how does she know how to do that? Wait, she can hotwire her car too. Wait, what do you mean you're like an explosive, expert? I thought you were a pigtail shorts
I like,
girl.
I guess that as an explanation, but I also think it's very weak. I think it
Yeah.
would have been a lot easier to say she was just in the military than to explain all this other stuff, because it's like, nah, I learned all these things over my vast career of dating. Like,
Yes. No, it's
you would, like, especially
yeah.
bomb defusal, you would know how, like, a bomb works. Maybe 20, but you certainly wouldn't be able to just look at a bomb and be like, all right, this is how they did that, blah, blah, blah. I don't like to look at that dynamite, man. Because what
I
are the
don't like
odds
to
you
look
ever
at
even
that
saw
one.
dynamite?
Yeah,
Especially
I know.
if all this dating, as I took it, relationship of her learning things was post-apocalyptic.
That's how I took it. Cause
So I
she
was
made a
like,
comment.
what are the
forget
what
what
are
she
the
said.
odds you even had any access to some of these things?
She dated
He
like
was a real car guy. How many cars were even around?
he was a car enthusiast, or he was like a mini boss in like a Borderlands game that just threw sticks of dynamite all the time, right?
I don't know. It
That was
just felt a
bizarre.
little lazy for me.
It was. I liked it a little better than just she was in the military, which is equally lazy because there's nothing like whatever. They're both just, well, we have to explain this, I guess. We have to explain this. Let's explain it, but have it flow into like talking about Abraham and whatever the fuck. And I'm like, okay, that's fine.
No, yeah, and it worked for the journey from getting it from point A to point B. I always hate things where it's like, well, how do you know how to be a ninja? Watched a lot of kung fu movies. How do you know how to blah blah? My brother was in the army.
Yeah.
And what he sat you down and just talked about all these things?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could honestly say, like, you could have
Saw it
played
on
her as,
YouTube.
like, Sasha could have been the person, and they taught you all these things. There's not TV. There's not a lot to do. I asked questions, they touched, and I would have been like, yeah, I guess, all right, blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah,
to just
she
say you
said-
gleamed these
She said
things,
something like, I played dumb and went
and now
with
I'm
it.
better than them.
That was
I'm
a
like,
weird part
what?
of it, too. That was a little girl powery, which I usually... I don't know. We often criticize shows like, why are they just letting this happen? Just put in one line. Just let me know that you know that it's weird that she knows all this shit about dynamite. Just do something.
Yeah.
And like they did the something, so it kind of whatever, you know.
No, I just think it could have been, like, because it's always the things that I complain about the
Could
most
have been
are
much
free.
better.
Where I'm like, there's
Yes.
words. You just say the words. You're already in the location. Just say words.
And there's a principle that doesn't apply here at all about like when you're like a lawyer and it's like never ask a like witness on the stand a question unless you already know what they're going to say basically and it's
Sure.
flowing into your thing. As a writer, you don't want to like you don't want one of your characters to ask one of your other characters to like explain like what were you doing before this? Don't even have them ask that unless the answer is something interesting and
Yeah.
satisfying and useful
And that
that
just seems
that
to
you're
make
going to have them
sense.
talk about. And you wrote these two characters to be on the road to talk about all this stuff, and that was the whole point of this episode.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Was to talk shit. So I can't believe we're done because I don't think anything else happens.
There's nothing really happened in this episode. Like I said in the beginning, it
Jesus
just took you on a road from one
Yeah.
point to another point, and like you're like, all right, we're exactly the same place. We're just slightly more advanced. And by more advanced, I mean like in geography. I don't mean in plot.
We've moved the chess pieces along the board. I really liked Eugene because he used the word optics, which I thought was really dope.
Okay.
He's like, these yapping walker, these yapping metalheads are good for the optics. We have to start talking about practical, solutions
Yeah.
or whatever. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. Because like, I don't know. Let's just talk about Eugene and call it a day.
Sure.
I liked that a lot just because I liked the line. But more so than that, it was like implying to me that Eugene was like he's not running a game, or if he is running a game, it's like the greatest of all games, where he's also doing his job as good as he can. Because it's like too much. It would be too much fun not to get like the new head of security bodyguard guy and like. Like grab him by the ear and like explain how smart I am and how I know this isn't really that effective, but I have some ideas and do all that shit. And I was like,
I don't think Eugene is playing a game at all.
Yeah.
I think Eugene has totally seen the light, and he's like, no, I have it good here. He's like, they're doing bad
the
things,
niggity
but they
light.
are good to me. He's like, so
Yeah.
like, it is safe here. I'm fine. And he'll definitely make the switch when the time counts because he's still a
Yes.
good person. But if they were to never attack, he would never leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And do you think so?
Even
like,
now, though, he's like, oh my God, you're blowing up my spot. There's only
You're-
two of you. You can't possibly win.
blowing up
I'm
my
not
spot."
here.
you're blowing up my spot. No, so like I actually really like Eugene turning on them like this because him realizing and like lying to Negan, I'm an astrophysicist, I can help you. Like that was like when he lied to Abraham.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So I wonder if now they're going to take him back. I wonder what he's going to do in this new capacity. This may not end well for Eugene.
Maybe not. If
Like,
something does happen,
so,
it'll
like-
be during an act of heroism,
I was going to say, like,
and it won't be till the finale, I would imagine.
yeah, so he might end up getting injured and/or mortally wounded, and like redeemed or whatever, because he hasn't done anything super bad to the.
No,
to
honestly,
the
he's
group
only
now.
done really good things for the group
Yeah.
since saying I'm not a scientist.
I'm not a scientist.
The trying to make them bullets, the driving the RV,
Oh, yeah.
like
No, but I
he's
mean,
come
like,
out.
even it's not like he switched to like the villain side and like while he was doing it betrayed someone
Yes,
and killed
no,
them,
no.
right?
Well, he
So,
was
like,
taken.
I know that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, it's not a situation where he like needs to earn much back, but now he's in the situation where it's like, no, we tried to rescue him and he was like, fuck off. Oh my God, he's in there. But you can still be like, well, he has Stockholm syndrome. He's like overwhelmed. We have to help him. We're gonna show him. Blah,
He's
blah.
got Atari.
He's got Atari. You don't understand. Why not give him a working television though? It's got the lines.
No, yeah, so that's kind of all that happened in this episode of Walking Dead, which really wasn't much. I do think that in the next 2 episodes you're going to see something crazy, but I think the first half of the next episode will be like nothing, and it will be this huge ramp up, and then the last episode, episode 16, will be nothing but fire.
It's going to be a 2-part episode with like the arc like spread across
Yes.
the 2 episodes. Sure, I feel like that's true. So next week we're just going to be back here saying, I don't know, I guess.
But it will leave us a lot to speculate about because it's gonna
True.
be that second half. It'll be like 23 minutes of like, oh,
I feel like they should pull a Game of Thrones and like do their big ass shit in the episode before the last episode. But that's not how they do it.
I don't
right?
think that's gonna happen.
Because you need.
I think
that,
they're afraid the viewers of not even coming back, and they need to stretch it out. Because
Yeah, I
episodes
wonder-
like this are what are fucking this franchise.
I wonder how the show's doing. Have you seen ratings figures?
No, but it's the best show AMC has. So even if it
I-
dropped like to a quarter of its
Yeah.
current, it would be doing better than every other show on there. But they have been slashing the budget. I understand.
Oh, fuck.
Because didn't they lose some writers and they were like, I can't work on this budget, blah blah blah, some bullshit.
Shit. That happened a while ago. If it's happening again, that like I haven't read much or researched anything, but I've seen headlines like worst ratings since whatever, or like what's wrong with The Walking Dead? It's like a fucking
Yeah.
headline on like a fucking like BuzzFeed.
They
or
have a
something like
license to
that.
print money if they just do it right. And, I'm not going to say how to do it right because there's a lot of ways. And just anybody who wants this show to be good could be like, how about just stop doing bullshit?
Just be good.
Write in the comments below what you would want them to do, what they can stop doing, and we'll see you next time. Don't die in a fire.